All right, hi y'all. Today's lesson for Cycle 1 of CC Fine Arts is Master Artist Durer. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate our lesson. It is printing and it can be a little bit messy. It can be a little bit zany in how it goes in class, but I think it's one of the kids' favorite activities. So let's get to it. All right, Durer is known for his wood block printing. So we're going to duplicate that by using foam and doing some printing. I want y'all to remember though, the thing I really want these students to walk away from class is not the most amazing print, but I want them to know who Durer is, and I want them to know why he's being studied, why we're even talking about him. So make sure during the lesson you say Durer a lot. Durer, I know that sounds weird, but make sure you write it on the board, make sure you say it often during the process. Oh, look at this, we're gonna do a rhino like Durer. Oh, who did a rabbit like Durer, or something like that. Keep saying the name. I want the students to see his work. You will have these in class. They'll be laminated so they don't get ruined. But I want you to talk about it. So at the beginning, say, what do you notice about this art? Have them sit, closer together to look at the pieces. And then tell them that, believe it or not, he carved wood into wood and then printed these, okay? So I want them, when they are out and about after this class, down the rest of the year, if they read a book or they're in a museum and they see something that looks like this, or the rhino, they'll go, oh, hey, that's Durer, okay? This isn't a creative arts lesson. This is a specific focus on a master artist. So because of that, we're gonna have our students pick either a rhino or a rabbit, because his rabbit is super famous. I mean, look at that, this is amazing. And his rhino. All right, so they're gonna pick, you'll have this in class to display. They need to pick a rhino or a rabbit to draw onto their foam. They will get 2 pieces of foam, but their first one needs to be a rhino or a rabbit. The second one, they can choose whatever they want. Okay, so we're gonna sit down now. What they'll do is every student will have a piece of foam. Do not give them both their pieces of foam. Give them their first one. Their second one they get after their first, okay? Because I don't want them to think this is a practice one and a real one. They only get 2 pieces. So they'll draw on there. Try to keep them in the center, closer to the center, not all the way to the edge. It won't print well. So they'll lightly draw it on. You can see here, I've drawn lightly. And then they're gonna go over it again. We're using thick pencils, not the thin ones so it doesn't tear, okay? And you'll have those in class, but make sure that it's lightly and then over it and thicker. Enlist the parents to help, all of that. So then they go over it nice and thick, and they're gonna press down pretty hard. What I want you to tell the students is if they feel and they can't feel that line, then it's not hard enough. All right, so they're gonna do that. All right, so you can see my rhino here is nice and indented. Can even see the other side, okay? All right, and the same thing, this is an example of a rabbit I worked on for you. And then what we're gonna do is, I'll stand up for a second. We are going to use a cookie sheet and a brayer. When I did this before with the supplies that we already own on campus, so a foam roller and a rolling tray, it doesn't work as well because the foam roller allows the ink, because it gives, so it presses the ink in there more. It's not as effective. We're also gonna use acrylic paint, and we're gonna use just typical print paper, and I may have bright colors, we'll just see what's available. So what you're gonna do, you're only gonna have 1 inking station in each classroom. You'll list a parent that you think would handle this well, or you do it, whichever one you want. And then you're gonna just put a couple of dots of the ink on. You're gonna roll it, okay? And this, the brayers allow for the ink to stay on top of the foam instead of getting in there, okay? So then you're gonna roll it on top. Okay. And then the student will have their paper and they'll press it on top. And then smooth it. And then pull it up. Okay? Look how great that turned out, all right? So, again, when they're doing this first one, while you have a crew coming, have them work on their second one. Say the name a lot. It's a really fun project. Durer. Thanks, guys. Okay, I forgot to say something about Durer. I want to make sure you understand that you shouldn't have all the students by the inking station at one time. Have one or two, do theirs, then go sit down. So rotate them through, have a parent, make sure a parent's helping with crowd control, let them work on their second piece of foam while the other students are printing. Things like that. They can look at the pieces of art, but don't overcrowd the ink station or it'll stress the person out. Want to remind you, we only have 30 minutes from come in to clean up. So everything needs to be cleaned up and ready for the next group. So just make sure you do most of your time on the inking. So introduce him, talk about him, show him, and then say, let's get started on your rabbit or your rhino so that you have time to make another print. Remind them that it needs to go well so they can do their second print, and just be really great about managing your time. Thanks, y'all.